Welcome back. This time we got yet another 760 restoration to do, well, to complete. This time the 760D Pump Master, which is a variant 8. Variant 9 is not much different from this one either. So we'll start by doing the usual, getting the barrel, pump tube, pump and valve and all that stuff back together. But also got to find some, I want to try some black tempera paint, water-based, rather thick paints that people used to do posters and junk with. And some damp bits of paper towel wrapped around one of my sanding blocks to do what I call an overwash, to fill in the molded grain structure and checkering and all that, and then you use a damp towel over a sanding block to wipe over it to take it off the surface of paint, so it only stays in the indentations, which are molded to look like wood grain and checkering and all of that, like they did on at least the variant 4 760 with the ABS stocks that's got that black overwash. I'll show you the picture here. You see what I mean? That adds so much more dimension. So basically, do the overwash, wipe off the excess, let it dry overnight, and then a coat of Tru-Oil over that with that dark amber honey color. It'll add a little more dimension to it and shine and basically seal the paint on the surface. Hopefully make it look a little more realistic with that slight amber tone it lends. And I got the rebuild kit with the upgraded seals and junk like that off of Amazon, and a couple other places like Mac 1, Baker, places like that, where I'd gotten seal and rebuild kits from for the 760 variant 1. They give you a bunch of extra parts that goes all the way up to 760D. So some parts you use, some parts you don't. And I can dig through them for the new little machine shafts and stuff that act as pivot points for various sears and stuff in the trigger and all of that. So we'll pick and choose between them as we may, and make use of them in this one. So grab something to drink, maybe a snack, have a seat, and let's do it. And this is how the 760D Pump Master looked when I first got it from one of the moderators on GTA that gave it to me, after a friend pulled it out of the junk out of a junk can and gave it to him while he was out junking. You can see how rusty the barrel and gas tube are, paint on the stock and everything. Still shot good though. Here it is at 10 yards, but H&N Sniper lights, and with JSB Exact Express at 7.87 grain, and Beeman Silver Bears at 7.1 grain. And I tried to use the wire wheel to take the bluing off these parts and all, but as you can see here, it still has some blackish tone to the metal, so that's out. I had to soak it in some glue and rust remover. I'd used a couple times lightly already. And here it is when I just put it in there in that shooter glass with the chemical smells like perm solution. Here it is after 30 minutes. And after an hour, it's definitely growing some funk of its own. And here they are in the rinse water. Just pour the water out of it and that stuff starts coming off there right fast. And I swirled it around and all that lamp black like stuff that's like an excess powder that gets on there came off. And this is what they look like before. Never mix super glue and perma glue together, or it crazes, you know, crinkles and pits the metal like they're spraying lacquer over enamel. And here they have to use the wire wheel to buff them up a little bit, clean them up a little more after the debluing and derusting solution and rinse and all of that. And here's the cleaner degreaser you have to use with, again, with a rinse after that to clean them up and like an etching solution to get them ready for the perma glue. And here they are after being clean, degreased with a cotton ball soaked with the solution and rinsed with water and dried again. And we are getting ready to use the perma glue in that little jar there. That vanilla beans come in those jars at the store. I like to use them for these sort of things. Looking pretty clean. You just put them in a jar, fill it with perma glue to cover, and almost immediately they start turning black. I let it sit for a half an hour in there, and 15, 20 minutes probably would have been good because you start seeing rust swirling around like dirty mud in clear lake water. And here's what they look like after I took them out and rinsed them with water again. That's what you wind up with first stage. Then you have to hose it down with something like rem oil, all sides, and just let them sit there and soak, in the oil, which drags into the metal, helps it cure better so it doesn't rust. And let it sit for a couple of days to cure. And here we are with the plastic bag. The rebuild kit came in and the related sticker so you could see what it says and all. And here is the valve disassembled and with the seals removed. You can see that the old plastic exhaust piston there is longer than the one that the new one they give you. Plus the fact that the valve stem itself is not white nylon rather than the brass and steel one that came out of it originally. And here's the new parts in the relative positions after being cleaned inside and out with lacquer thinner, polished, and all that. And polish the valve stem and use a good amount of Airgun oil on it. Looks good. And here is the pump connecting rod, old pump cup right, new one left. That takes the place of the piston. And here you get a better look at the old pump cup with the new one installed. This angle you could see the taper on the new pump cup a little better. Once again, had to wait for Tyree payday, and my wife was out shopping and I had her pick me up. So these paints, she used to use the tempera paints you paint posters and other little statues and junk with. A 2-ounce bottle of gloss black tempera paint, that's a water-based poster paint. And I'm going to use that to fill in the checkering and the molded in grain work and everything in these stocks, so that I could then, once that's dry, I could put some Tru-Oil over that, let that dry, and then it'll have a more complete look of like some of the other models, like the two over there, where it's got that black overwash to fill in the low spots, which is the grain and checkering details. And nice set of artist brushes I could do all kind of different effects with, and then just use one of the smaller ones to put the paint on there, and then got some of these cut up out of shop towels to wet, so I can wipe it off as soon as I get it on there, to just fill in the grain and wipe it off the high spots. Okay. Get out my jug. Okay. And now gotta, you can hear that wind howling outside. It ain't March anymore. I don't know why the Ides of March decided to revisit. And instead of using that cleaner degreaser from Birchwood Casey, I'm just going to use some wipe and clear. That's the stuff they're making those, put those little towelettes in the packets you wipe your glasses with, that you take with you. Well, this is the home version. I'm going to take this, is a nice misting pump spray. I'm going to take this off to put it on the rim oil pumper over there, because that one just shoots a stream. You need to, you could use a mist, and you get more coverage and use less oil. So anyway, I'm left-handed, but I got so much carpal tunnel and rheumatoid arthritis in my left hand, I can't go like this anymore. There's some kind of black grease on this side too. I can't get that to come on. Right there is a black streak. I don't know what the heck that's from. Got a couple of black speckles. Now, there's some mud and stuff in these little grooves right here on the edge of the butt plate too. I used a black handled toothbrush thing they give you with the outers, pick kits and cleaning kits and all that, to get in there and scrub all that out, so I could then go over it with a cleaner. Fold that inside out. I did sand that butt plate down a little bit to kind of smooth out some of the gashes and deep scratches and such as that. And once that's coated with Tru-Oil, it'll look a lot better. That clear coat puts the shine back on it. You can wipe it down with oil and everything. You know, an oiled patch or something, normally clean the gun with. Okay. Oh, good. Got a decent size opening so you don't have to use the squirt top if you don't want to. I was kind of hoping for that. That way. No Ziploc on this one, though. I'll just minimize how far down I cut it. Use the 1/4 there, kind of a fan shape. It's about the color of red sable, but I think it's synthetic. Gold Taclon, it says it is. It's a bristle type. Never heard of it, okay, whatever. Okay. Now let's see if we can get that to work. I hope it does. Okay, there's one spot. Not quite as good as I was hoping. Well, this isn't working exactly like I thought it would. It's just not working as quite the way I thought it would. Not bad, I guess. I used a 1/4 inch fan brush. That seems to work okay, but there's so much grain on this. It's a little harder than I thought to work with. So this, there's definitely an art to this. Trying to fill in the low spots, but the water wants to put it as a thin film on the high spots. So you gotta work with that. Definitely a certain touch to it, especially with the browner parts through the middle and all that kind of thing. So, in my opinion, it will be a bolder, kind of antique look, like the dirt off your hands soaking into it from years of use, sort of thing. Using a lot of these strips too. It's looking like to you know, wipe the paint off as you go. I think I'm getting too much water. Too much water on the doggone on these towels. it's washing too much of it out. It was really hard to get that in there. Not bad, I guess.
I meant to give this to you before. They go function on like one cylinder.
Here's what I intended. Here's what I intended to do.
Cut in
Fill in the low spots
Oh, okay.
where they molded in the
Kinda
wood grain and all that
similar
stuff. That easy to do.
Southern.
Pecan.
That might be it. Southern pecan or something like that.
Real life, what a concept. You gotta wipe these off here and work around there. You can see where you get maybe a little too much paint. Take a little corner there. And follow it around, just kind of lightly wipe over it, try to leave some of the grain filled in. It's not an easy thing to do. This is definitely not for the faint of heart or impatient. You just kind of blot the excess off. Okay, I need a couple more of these. We didn't pay attention when we were picking up. You know, I really need to get me a spray bottle to put water in so I could mist these things and get just a little bit damp. I knew just being a little damp would be better. Try to do it on the bottom too. I don't know. Some of these low spots are a little too shallow. might just wind up just doing the checkering. It's really hard to fill in the low spots on these without leaving a film or wiping it all off. Conversely, so I mean that I'm getting too much water in that thing. Dry one's too dry. I can't. I don't know what they use to do that, but I can't duplicate it on the wood grain. Just can't find something to wipe it off with. Just I don't know. Okay. Look at the top there. I used a dry strip until I can get a misting water bottle where I can just barely dampen them things. I have to use a dry towel, I guess. Then soften it a little with the Tru-Oil. That should that might just do it. It's kind of hard to drag that darn paint across the grain and do it quickly, so that and not too thick but not so thin that it dries real fast. Besides wiping it across. So this is definitely an art form, y'all. Something you really gotta kind of play around with. I think I figured it out, babe. Don't use a wet strip to wipe it off. Too much water. Use a dry one, it seems to work. Got it done. It just had a little over an hour to dry, according to bottle directions. It's supposed to dry in an hour. Let dry 1 hour between coats. Here's the forestock. The ends, I did the end on that one, but there's not a lot of grain on the end parts, so I didn't do that one. That's in the back anyway. But there it is. And this is the front. And here's the buttstock. So that dull, plain looking brown plastic now looks a bit more like black walnut. We'll see what it looks like after I get some Tru-Oil on it. Okay. Hanger hooks I made, hang them up with. Once I get the Tru-Oil on them. So, have to excuse me while I blow a minute or two getting these things on. I'm really anxious to see how the Tru-Oil changes the tone of the plastic with the overwash. It can also be thought of as a surface sealer. You gotta seal all weather, wear and tear, and lubricating oils you wipe it down with and all of that. You gotta seal it from all of that stuff. Tetra is pretty tough once it dries. Because once it's dry, you can't make it soluble again. It says you can wash it with soap and water while it's wet. So cleanup has to be while it's wet, period. There is absolutely no other way. So that's why I had to work quickly doing this. Okay. 3-inch cleaning patches by Otis. I use these for cleaning gas tubes and stuff like that. They're too big for the barrels. Pretty much. Oh, come on! Oh, I can't separate these things with the dang gloves on. Okay, you fold it in half, and in half again. Make a little wedgie. And these things do get glued shut. Oh boy. Just set the cap. Oh, come on! Set on there, dummy. Not bad, rather interesting. Oh, I just can't keep that darn thing from wanting to unfold on me while I move it around. I'm going to try to squirt it on the cloth rather than into a little bathroom sized cup. That actually kind of helps the overall tone, looks like. Not just a gloss or a sealer, but a light refractor. I get all kind of neat little grain effects by the way the light refracts through this Tru-Oil clear coat. Wipe the buttstock here because I did sand that, so I definitely needed to reseal the surface to put the shine back on it. That dang thing just wants to keep coming apart. Okay, Now if I can just get up from behind this thing without knocking it over. Finish where I was holding it. There. And there it is. Evens out the tone, makes it look a bit more like black walnut. Now, this one's going to be a little harder. Oh, okay, lay it like that. I was thinking how am I going to get this thing to lay right. And once again, Birchwood KC Tru-Oil, brown bottle. So it's easy to tell apart from the other chemicals that way. Don't need a lot of Tru-Oil to coat this with. This is what looks evenly, smoothly wetted and shiny like. And that's good enough. Overall, that does look a bit more like black walnut. Nice change from that real plain Jane hot chocolate brown. You can see all the wood grain. That's gonna be awesome once it's all said and done, and you can touch it. You know. Okay. Hanger number 2, put that right through where the roll pin goes to hang it up. And that's it. This video is running a little long. I thought it would be the final, but it's going to be about 35-40 minutes. I try to keep it down to that. My buddy Austin's on the phone. Old enough to be his grandfather, but not a bad thing. We both like hunting with air rifles and stuff like that. Just have to call him back. So anyhow, that's it for this time. That'll be episode 5 for the 760D Pump Master. And once the stocks get dry, then we can start putting this thing together. I've got the barrel and pump tube glued and all that kind of stuff done already. Just got to put it together. Put together, test it, and shine it up one more time. And mount the scope. I got a new Simmons 4x32 over there, and yeah, it's the Walmart blister pack. $29.87, but at 1-inch tube, but doggone, got a good, nice grind on the lenses. Because it was dark in here one night. I woke up between 3-4 a.m., you know, and it was a full moon outside, clear night. And I could see all the brick house kitty corner across the street with their redwood stained wood fence. I could see all the way over there clearly. So if there had been like a coon or something over there, I could have popped him in the head from this distance and even seen the reticle clearly. It's really amazing for 30 bucks. Can't beat that with a stick. So, that's it for this time. Good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again.